welcome back to another episode of the Elevated Mind Show. I am your host, Sora, and I'm here today with my normal co-host, Black Metal 92. What up, Black? How you doing, man?
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to the people around the world. Guess what? Guess what? I'm back.
He's a dork. Sinful Sloth. What's up, man?
Hey, what's Gucci, man?
All right, cool. And last but not least, Shade on 404, aka Wolf. What up, dog? Yeah, so today's podcast is strictly about video games. We're going to be talking about and going over the video games that have and will release during the year 2024, the fiscal year, right? The fiscal year, not the actual year 2024, because we know there are games that come out during the year that aren't really categorized in the Game of the Year awards, right? Because they come out, too late or whatever, right? But we can talk about those too if you want. It's up to you guys. So, what do you guys think of the state of gaming so far in this year? Like, do we have any good games? Got any bangers? What's up?
Well, honestly, I feel like we've been stuck in a rut for a while. Like, feel like there's a lot of repeated content coming out, not a lot of originality, man. I mean, like, I know the indie studios is trying their best to stand out, but a lot of it just feels like it's either like pixel games, which I'm okay with, or it looks like they're just like little recreations of Diablo s titles. It just or it's another explorer game, like something that wants to be like Ark or wants to be like what's the other games like that, like Rust. It's just like a lot of
Yeah,
repeated stuff, man. Where's the new shit at in 2024?
that's a
I,
bar.
I agree with that. So, I've noticed, I'm sure you all have too, but when it comes to the state of gaming, it takes on a personality dependent on the current time frame, right? Like there was a point in time when every game that came out was a zombie game. You remember that? Like we had the Red Dead game. Everybody was playing the Call of Duty Zombies games. Uh,
Yeah.
the what else? The Days Gone came out. It was just zombie games back to back to back, right? And then we had another point where everybody was playing. Uh, what do you call when
Battle
you
Royale.
the yeah
Battle
battle royale?
Royale.
I was about to start naming games, but
Oh my
yes, the
god, the
battle
Royale
royales, right?
games.
So right now, what do you think the the atmosphere is for gaming?
It's been on looter shooter for far too long, dog. It's been on looter shooter for like 4 years. Like most of the games. Like there is single player games that have been popping up, but to me it's been like looter shooters and pay to win type shit. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like it's been that for like longer than anything right now. I believe. But we might be going into um top down MMO D&D style shit now that Baldur's Gate has been whooping ass. So mm,
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, when I look at freaking Baldur's Gate, to me that just looks like Diablo, but with you got to roll dice every once in a while. Well, a lot. You got to roll die more than I want to.
we
yeah,
roll dice in almost every conversation in Baldur's Gate.
yeah, pretty
Exactly.
much.
But I mean, it's supposed to be like that. It's
Oh, I get it. It's an online D&D, but it's
yeah,
like at
a
the same
video
time,
game
it's
version of a tabletop game. And if we were
yeah,
playing the
but it's
tabletop
just
version, we'd be rolling dice a lot. Not
okay. So you know who
necessarily
did
during every
that?
conversation, though.
You know who did that really good? That kind
Baldur's
of
Gate
combined
3.
them all. No, no, no. It was Tiny Tina's. Was it Tiny Tina's Wonderland? I think it was called.
The Borderlands game, Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yeah, that's the Borderlands game.
Yeah, that one actually did it good because you rolled dice, if I remember correctly, in that game. It was a looter shooter, and at the same time, it had like dungeon clearing vibes to it. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
that one was a good. As a matter of fact, I'm putting that on my playlist. That's gonna have to get another playthrough.
I was about to
Like
say I
so,
never actually played Tiny Tina's Wonderland. The
if
last one
y'all
I played was Borderlands 2. I think I played 1 and 2.
if y'all want to do a playthrough of that, holler at me. I will definitely do that.
I'm
I'll
assuming
watch
it's 4-player co-op, just like the rest of the Borderlands games.
Let me check because I know I definitely did co-op on it. Yeah, and I know I did 3 players. I don't know if there's four, but let me check and see.
Got
That's a
you,
good
got
one.
you. So what about extraction shooters? We've been seeing a lot of extraction shooters coming up onto the market as of late, and there's more to come out later this year, and a few on the horizon for next year. What do you think the future of extraction shooters is going to be like?
I think it's already been here for a while. It's just people haven't really indulged in it a lot. Like from Tarkov been out for a minute, and fucking
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege Extraction been out for a minute. Like there's a lot of extraction shooters that's been out. You know what I mean? And they're really not much different than the battle royale shooters. It's just you got to go grab some shit and leave with it, and you get to keep it. Like, but it's the same concept as a battle royale. To me, it's like it's got to be more. Something else has to come from that. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't just be, oh, we go in, get gear, and then leave. And then go in and grab this and then leave. It's got to be some type of add-on to it or a continuance from one place to another. You know what I mean? It can't just be same place. You go in, extract shit, and you go to the same place again, but this time you go to a different part of the map and extract and then come back in. Like it's no. It's got to be different maps, different planets, different. It has to be more to it than just that, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling that. Feeling that, really am.
Gets
All
boring
right.
after like 4 extractions. You know what I mean? Like this shit gets stupid. Like after 4 extractions, you're like, why am I doing this? And don't get me wrong, a lot of games are rinse and repeat, but they keep you engaged with different missions or tasks or different planets, or you move on to another chapter in the single player game, or you know what I'm saying? You doing shit like whereas
Honestly,
extraction shooters is the same shit over and over again. There's no purpose behind it.
I think really like, and this could probably lead off into like a wild tangent or like a wild rabbit hole, but the future of gaming to me is going to be something where you log in and you can do all of this. Like you got one character that can literally jump into a looter shooter, one character that like one character that could go from looter shooter to D&D tabletop to zombie game to race game. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
because and then be able to cross use the items from one game to another, but like it's because it's all essentially under the same game. You know what I mean? It's just different activities in the game.
Right.
Because that's really the only way these repetitive things like Fortnite. Oh my god, bro! Like I can watch people play Fortnite, but just going from lobby to the same map, lobby to the same map, lobby to like that's it's repetitive, bro. I can't do that. I can't do that for more than like 30 minutes nowadays.
Right. And I think it's meant for like a younger crowd because their attention span is so short. Like
Right?
when the
It's
match is
instant
over, they'll go
gratification.
right
They
back
like it.
in. Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
go right back in that shit.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump straight into the video game releases in 2024. What games stand out to you most? And it's actually part of the reason why that was the last question I asked, because one of the games that came out this year is classified as an extraction shooter, right? And that would be Helldivers. The game is already released,
Hmm.
and people love it. I mean, I haven't played it myself personally, right? I've watched gameplay footage. I've seen people play the game, and when I watch it, a few things pop into mind. The main thing is I feel like I'm watching Destiny, and I'm not doing that. But I
Right.
understand that it is an extraction shooter. I understand that it is an extraction shooter, and do I like extraction shooters? I'm kind of a fan. I wouldn't say completely. I played the Division, and we all know when you play the Division and you go into the Dark Zone, the game turns into an extraction shooter. I
Yeah.
played DMZ with you, Black. We played DMZ almost all the time. You weren't that
Yeah.
into it, but I was into it, and it was mainly because of uh, I guess the objective aspect to it. It's not. Yes, it is constant. We're in the home screen. We load up a game. We're running around for what 25 minutes or whatever, shooting whoever
Yeah.
we're shooting. We leave and then we go back and do the exact same thing again, rinse and repeat. That's pretty much what it is. But what made it interesting for me is, I
The
guess,
mission.
the missions,
Yeah.
how different the missions were, how many missions there were. So when you did load into the map, whether it was the same map over and over again, or you went to any of the, well, I think DMZ had 3 maps, or you went to
Yeah.
any of the different maps, there was actually uh, a list of missions that you could do while you were in there. And some of them were pretty hard, right? Some of them took us a while to get done. It took us
Right.
like we had to load in multiple times to do some
Yeah,
things.
to get shit done. Yeah. So it gave us more to do. So I can see that. Hell Divers reminds me like graphically is great, but the gameplay, like the way that, and this is what this goes to what Sin was saying, like how the games kind of rinse and repeat. It just all it reminds me of is a more graphically stable version of Outriders, but less abilities and shit. But it reminds me of Outriders. I'd rather go play Outriders than to play that. As buggy as Outriders is, I'd rather play Outriders than Helldivers. And I think the attention span in the gaming community is like so like low on specific games that are looking for the next best thing that they forget. Like you can go back and buy Outriders for like $9 instead of buying Helldivers, which didn't even work on launch when it came out on PC for me specifically. And then when you look at the earlier comments, nobody on PC could play the shit. Like everybody was crashing, people getting refunds because they're trying to launch on a PlayStation exclusive on PC at the same time. Like, and it's basically a better graphic, shittier version of Outriders, in my opinion. I'd rather play Outriders than to play that shit. And they just keep stealing the ideas of other games instead of being creative and inventive. It's the same shit. Even the monsters look the same. Even the Helldivers themselves look like Outriders. You know what I'm saying? They don't even look like they're a Helldiver or their own individual identity. I watched some of the fucking dialogue. It's like the blandest shit I ever heard, and people are like, "Oh, this game is so great," and like it shouldn't even be in a conversation as a great game. It's just Outriders.
I think people just jump on the like, oh, it's so great, and then it's just like mostly like Power World. I mean, basically that game had a huge influx right off the bat. People
Right.
talking about, oh, it's the best, this and that, it's the bee's knees, and then huge player drop off, and it goes towards that instant gratification. Boom, it's one and done. They got their happiness out of it, and then it's just like decline.
Right.
And I think
Right.
that Helldivers is gonna have the same shit. Basically, it's a lot of people like it, and in a month it's gonna be forgotten.
Only time will tell.
I think this year is gonna be pretty ass, and like honestly, I think the overall year is gonna be pretty ass. But I mean, we've been spoiled. I ain't gonna lie. From how I see it, we kind of been spoiled. Like shit start off when the new consoles come out. Shit always start off kind of slow, and then it like increasingly gets better. But with the PS5 and the new PC components and shit like that, and I'd say probably the last 5 years prior to this one has been good fucking years. Like 5 consecutive good years with good games that have dropped consistently. You know, I'm just tired of two things I'm tired of. I'm tired of the a game like Helldivers that come out and it's like Outriders. You know, like copying the same idea. And I'm tired of fucking remasters and remakes of the same game that already came out and was successful 100 times over again. Like prime example, I'm a Resident Evil 4 fan. I bought the game 100,000 goddamn times. I bought it on GameCube when it first came out.
We
Bought
had
it
this
on
combo.
PS2. You know what I'm saying? Bought the
Yeah, yeah.
remastered version already. They remastered it again. They remaked it again. They remastered it again. And it's just like, dog, that game won Game of the Year 2 times in a row already. It's like, how much
Yep.
more out of it do you want? Why don't you just make another Resident Evil? Why don't you just, you know what I mean? Or bring back another game that you've made that people been asking for from Capcom. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you bring out what is it? Capcom versus fucking what was that game? Capcom versus
Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah,
versus
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Capcom.
That shit
Like
used to be
remake,
lit.
right? Remake that shit. Not the, you know what I mean? Not a remaster. Remake the game. Like remake the whole game from the ground up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But you
they
waste
had a
time
Capcom
building.
versus like SNK too, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, SNK, shit like that. You know what I mean? Or what's another Capcom game? What was that? Dead Rising. Make that shit again. Do something else. Stop
People love
remaking.
Dead Rising too.
Exactly. You make Resident Evil 4 every 4 years. Like, dog, relax. You know what I'm saying? They do. I
It's
swear to God.
funny. It's funny to me that you mentioned Marvel vs. Capcom because I was going to mention Tekken 8 because it's already out and it technically came out this year. And those of you that know me knows my history is fighting games, right? That's how I originally started. It was fighting games, and I think Tekken 8 looks fantastic. It does. My only problem right now is the price tag on it and how with the little amount of characters they have in the game. They took out a lot of characters that I really liked using, right? Obviously
Yeah.
the main core characters are still there, but a lot of characters that have been in the story for years, they got rid of them. I don't know if they plan on bringing them in the future for like DLC or anything, but they are missed. They are missed.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
I know that they bringing them back. They're 100% bringing in the other characters because they did that in Tekken 7. You know what I mean? Tekken 7, like they didn't have Lei Wulong in there. They didn't have fucking Akuma wasn't in there to start with. The fucking bear wasn't in there to start with. The I forgot the Asian dude, the short Asian dude with the bald head. He wasn't in there. Fong, whatever his name is, he wasn't in there. Like it was a lot of people. Nina wasn't in there. Like Nina's an OG. People forget that Nina is a OG Tekken character. She's been around since fucking the arcade Tekken 2.
Right.
So her not being in like 4 Tekkens is a disgrace. I don't give a fuck if the character is a likable character or not. She's an OG. Like you don't take out an OG for nothing. Like unless it's the fucking kangaroo dude, you can take him out whenever you want.
Roger.
Yeah, you can take Roger out whenever you want. Like Roger is always a bonus character, or the doctor. Doctor, he's a bonus character. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and they do bonus characters. Most years, I know last year they did. Well, not last year. I'm sorry. Last iteration, Tekken 7. We had Negan, and we had was Noctis from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Noctis and
I remember y'all talking about Noctis.
Yeah, but why I want to know where
I remember y'all making big hype about Noctis. I was like, I like Noctis. Y'all were like, no, I hate it. He teleports. It's cheese.
I liked using Noctis, but to him as a fighter in the game, he didn't fit to me.
He doesn't fit, and I'm like, where is Bruce from Tekken Tag Team? Like they have characters out there that are people are big fans of. Like Bruce wasn't in the fucking game. You know what I mean? From Tekken Tag. Who else wasn't in that shit? Jun Kazama's not in the game. They never remade her character and brought her back. I know she's dead in the lore, but like bring her character back dead. Like they do that with a whole bunch of characters.
They do it all the time.
Crazy. Bring her character back.
They do it all the time. That's how
like
we got
when they made Zombie Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, they brought Liu Kang back 100 fucking times.
Oh yeah, that man had like 9 lives like a cat.
Right, because he's a pivotal character to the story. You know what I mean? Regardless if he died or people were fans of him or not, even though he had a big fan base. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they brought him back, and it's just like, okay, why don't they do that with Tekken? But the game, like Sora said, the game looked crazy fire. Like I'm a fighting game person too. You know what I mean? And
I know we've played Tekken together.
Yeah, that price tag. For me, it's more so. I know Tekken 7 was Tekken 7 was out for like I don't know 4 or 5 years. So I know this one gonna be out for 4 or 5 years. I'm gonna just wait for a sale and then get it.
No, I know that game's gotta be pricey because I hopped into a couple other Discords recently and I saw people playing the demo. And these people talking about, yeah, I'm just playing the demo till I can afford the game, and I'm like, damn, right? Like you about to put that on a payment plan.
Yeah.
Oh God. I played the shit out the demo. I did.
Oh yeah, you gotta rent it. You gotta rent it with interest.
Rent to buy. Where's Blockbuster? Where the fuck is Blockbuster?
You need to go to Amscot before you get that game.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. They doing credit checks. But that's for me. That was the first game I was gonna mention. For 2024, I think Tekken is gonna be a very big game. For the year 2024, we're also gonna have Evo pretty soon. So you're gonna see a lot of hype over Evo, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do Mortal Kombat at the same time that they're doing Tekken for Evo. So it's looking fun. And Evo's in Florida, so I might stop by. Who knows?
Yeah.
Speaking of February games, did you guys see Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered?
Yeah, I seen that once again.
Ooh.
Once again. More remasters.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this one. It's a remaster. It's not a remake. I'm okay with it, but you know, it blew me back to like my childhood to see Lara Croft in these old tombs again, fighting Bengal tigers and mummies and stuff. Oh man, that took me back.
Super nostalgic.
It really is.
I think they should have remade that instead of to see certain games. I could understand that they remake and not remaster. You see what I'm saying? I think that was a game that deserved to be remade. It had what 1999 that shit came out. 99. The first Tomb Raider.
This was one of the first PS1 games out. This was damn. I gotta actually look it up. Hold on. Let me find it.
I think that was 99, bro. 98, 99 was PS1. They came out with Papa the Rapper,
96.
Tomb Raider. 96, fuck, with Spyro the Dragon, fucking Papa the Rapper, Tomb Raider, Metal Gear.
Oh, but it does
Dog.
say PlayStation version was released in '97. Apparently, it came out on the PC before then. But yeah, still, man, that's old. That's an
That's
old game
classic
right there.
shit. That's what I'm saying. That could be remade, like completely remade with the same get. Like I could understand that. Not no shit that been remade over and over. You know what I mean? Like that deserves to be remade. Graphically, everything. Even the original Metal
Well,
Gear
they
Solid.
tried to reboot these Tomb Raiders, but it was a reboot. It wasn't like a remake. You know what I mean? There are
Yeah.
a lot of people they got to know that difference. There's the remasters, the reboots, and the remakes, right? And they
Yeah.
definitely rebooted Tomb Raider, but some people liked it, some people didn't. It was kind of controversial.
Right.
Um,
It needs a
and then
remake,
you got
dog.
these remasters which are nice, but typically they're just like texture updates, lighting updates. They're nothing crazy,
Yeah.
But a remake, oh, like they did with Final Fantasy VII. Come
That would have
on.
been fire for Tomb Raider, dog. The original joint with the swimming pool in the mansion. Oh man.
Mhm.
OG
Yeah.
remaster, man. That would have been fired. And you know, I'm excited about it, but I'll never buy it. That's my whole thing. I'm not interested enough to buy it because I played it so much already when I was younger in the original form that I don't
And
see a
the
need to
crazy
go
thing is,
back.
I've seen projects. I remember seeing projects where they actually took some. I think it was like two or three that they did it with, not part one, but they someone I think brought it into like Unreal Engine 4, or they recreated one of the levels in Unreal Engine 4, like recreated. All right, like so it was like a remake. The level design was similar, like very close to it, and it was just like it looked beautiful. And I'm just like, yo, this. If somebody can do this on their free time, just imagine putting a team of like 10 people on this,
Right.
just for like a solid 6 months or a year, bro. They could probably get it all done because the games are not as big as they once were. You know what I mean? The levels are definitely not as big.
Right.
Um, back then. So like I just don't get it, man. It's definitely some of this stuff
Could be done.
it could be done. It really can.
Right.
And it would be easy money. This would be money that you use to basically just fund an even bigger project.
Exactly.
Small teams of people. They should just have small teams of people working on nothing but solid classic remakes that people actually want to see, and then using that money to fund brand new projects, so that we don't have the same repetitive fucking games coming out over and over and over.
Exactly. And who made the original Tomb Raiders? Capcom, didn't they?
No, at the time I think that was like Enix. Let me see, was it
It
Eidos?
might have
Eidos
been.
or
Yeah, it might
Enix?
have been NX. Yeah, you're right.
Let me
Damn,
see.
that's a long time
Yeah,
ago,
it was
dog.
Eidos Interactive and Square Enix.
Damn, son. Square Enix been in that game a minute, dog.
Oh yeah, yeah, bro. Easily. They've been there forever.
It was
Well, it
dropping
used to just
bangers,
be
dog.
Square. It was Square Soft and Enix Studios, if I remember correctly. Then they merged together and made Square Enix.
Yeah.
Because if you play the original Final Fantasy VII, I'm pretty sure it still says Square Soft when you load the
That's
game up.
SquareSoft.
What game you looking forward to, Black?
Oh, this year, I mean, of course I'm looking for Dragon's Dogma, but we ain't gonna get
Mm,
into that because we
hey,
know we
let's save
know we
that. Let's save
yeah we
that.
gonna
We'll talk
save that.
about it, but we'll talk about it
Yeah,
later.
yeah, we
What
know how
about,
that go. Outside of that, I mean,
are
the
you
only
guys
only huh?
are you guys even anticipating Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
Nah, I'm
So
not.
you're talking about part two. So I didn't
Yeah,
even play the part one remake. So the answer is going to
bro.
be
This
no
is
until I
this
play the
might be
part
the
one
only reason
remake.
why I buy a PS5, just because I know I'd have to wait like another year to see it on Steam.
Yeah, that I mean, Final Fantasy looks okay. I mean, it's not my favorite Final Fantasy. The characters I'm not a fan of in 7.
Which one
Like
were
I
you a
like
fan
I
of? I forget.
10, Final Fantasy 10 was
10? Oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
Final Fantasy 3. Final Fantasy 3 and then 10 were like my favorite like when it comes to story, lore, characters, like the whole idea of like even 10 like the whole idea of how everything happened. Like I fucked with it and the game was long as shit.
I'm
We
a
talking
7, 10, and controversially, I'm a 13. I know a lot of
I
people
like
will not
13.
agree with 13, but I
Nah, I like
liked it.
13.
13's good though. 13 was good. It got a lot of
I
hate
played
didn't
all of
deserve.
them, bro. I played 13 1, 13 2, and Lightning Returns. I could not help it. It was dope.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I'll probably get into it. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Since there ain't much out this year, the only thing I can see outside of what we just talked about, outside of the shit we said, uh, maybe Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 looks fire. Like, cause I'm one
I
of the
think it's going to
ones
be
that
amazing.
played. Yeah, I'm one of the ones that played Hellblade 1. and I fuck with the game heavy, dog, like real heavy. I thought it was really good. It should have been in competition for at least Gamer's Choice of the Year. You know what I mean? But it didn't even make that or Game of the Year. But there was a lot of bangers out when it came out. A lot of heavyweights and big name studios were making big games at the time. And now that this year it's really kind of vacant besides, what we talked about and then this and maybe like a Stalker 2. I don't really or Splatoon because there's a lot of Nintendo fans. So Splatoon 3. But outside of that, Hellblade 2 might probably be in
Hellblade 2,
Game of the
that's
Year
a-
talks.
I think I picked this up. Hold on, let me check my library.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hellblade.
What
Fire.
awards did the first Hellblade win? Because I know it won something at Game of the Year awards
So
when
they,
it came
that
out.
the first one came out the year Ghost of Tsushima came out. So it was like banger. God of
I
War
did.
came out that year. Some bangers.
I picked up Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and I picked up the VR edition. I think they were on sale.
So yeah, the original Hellblade got award for best performance, award for audio achievement, best
Yeah.
performer, award for Game Beyond Entertainment.
Yeah, it was fire for sure.
Yeah, Hellblade was really good.
It was really super underrated. It just was fighting too many heavyweights at the time, man. When it came out, it was like God of War, fucking Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon, fucking what else came out that fucking year? I think Call of Duty 2019 was out that
Call of
year. It
Duty's
was,
always coming out that year. Whatever
yeah,
year we're
that,
talking about,
that year
Call of
was
Duty
just
comes out.
bangers. That year was just like full of fucking bangers, dog. Like year beginning to end, it was bangers all year. And Hellblade kind of got lost. I think whatchamacallit was that year too. Take a Tale
A Plague
Plague.
Tale? Yeah, a
Yeah,
Plague
the
Tale.
first one that came out that year. So it was just like too many games, just too many good games that year.
Yeah, so for me personally, whenever I talk about good games, I don't like to mention repeats like Call of Duty, Madden, NBA 2K. You know what I mean? The games that we
Yeah,
see
that's
every single year. I don't like to, but sometimes it's rare. But sometimes they come out with a game and it's really good, right?
yeah. That was
And
20.
this year, one of the games that is about to release pretty soon, I believe March 12th, is WWE 2K24. It's another repeat, but it is technically like a rebrand, I would assume. A couple years ago, they did stop making the game for 2 or 3 years because everyone hated it. I don't know if y'all
It
knew
was
about
bad.
this,
It was
but
21 or
everyone
22.
hated it. Right, so
Yeah.
they just stopped making the game. They did something completely off brand. It was what was that? What was it? It was WWE All Stars or something like that. It
Yeah,
was
the
like an
All
arcade
Star.
style game,
Yeah.
and so they just pushed that out for wrestling fans to have a wrestling game. But with this game, we're gonna see what they're actually made of. And we talked about last week in the previous podcast how my thoughts on their cover athletes for this year. But it is what it is. Whatever you're gonna do with your cover, what you're gonna do with your cover, can't do anything about that. Just make the game good, and I'll buy it. I'm not buying it at launch though. I'm not pre-ordering it either.
Yeah, I won't pre-order anything from 2K ever again.
Yeah, never.
Ever again. Same as EA. I will never pre-order EA game or buy unless it's Dragon Age. Outside of that, I won't do any sports or no. Fuck that shit. You can eat my butt cheeks. Go ahead.
I'll
I'm
give
correcting
y'all
myself. It's
y'all
March
2K
8th.
this, 2K that fans some props because y'all some of the most dedicated people that buy games every year that I've ever seen. But
Yeah, for sure.
I've just never been into
Ridiculous.
any of those, man. Like
It's bad.
It's wild, right? It's literally the same thing every year. They just put
and they keep on buying.
and they keep buying it. It's just, dude, it's literally an updated roster for teams. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
which is
An
like you feel
updated
like that
team
could be
roster.
done as a DLC. You know what I mean?
All they
Like an
gotta do is
expansion.
name the game NBA 2K basketball and just update every year.
Yep.
That's all they gotta do. And then like
Charge
maybe
a
after
little bit
like
for the
4 years,
extra roster, right? That's it.
yeah. Or maybe after like 3 or 4 years, then create a new one with like more animations, newer graphics, shit like that. Do it like how they was doing Destiny. That's how I believe that's how sports games should be. Sports games should be how Destiny does their game with, DLC and adding content as they go on, updating certain things. Like that's how basketball
100%.
games should be. It shouldn't be every fucking year sports game. And then it's really not even a full year. It's like every 11 months they drop a new game, damn near.
Yeah, and that's
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying. Like
saying?
every maybe like let's say halfway through the decade, right? You go from 2020 to 2025. Maybe that's the part where it may say, okay, yeah, we got a new engine. It looks better. It looks great. Like it's enough of an advancement that it merits a new game, and then they make a new one.
Right. They greedy,
Boys.
bro. That's just that simple. 2K and EA is greedy as fuck.
It's cool that you brought up dinner and all, Wolf, but you didn't mention any games so far. What's up?
Oh,
What games you looking forward to?
well, I'm not really looking forward to any games. I don't. Y'all have noticed I don't really game like that no more. A lot of stuff don't really catch my eye, but I did
Why do you
deeply
think that is?
enjoy. Oh, because I don't know. For some reason, my brain's just focused on like school because like nothing seems interesting. Like it's
And
like
art,
seeing a bunch
because
of
this man
different.
definitely doing art.
Yeah, and art. Yeah, absolutely. Like I've really been loving my painting lately. I've been loving my esthetician journey so far, bro. Like it turns out I'm really good at this esthetician shit. I thought it would just be a fun little gag. No, I'm pretty good at it.
And
But
honestly, you
no,
think you would have done that if you'd still be playing video games?
If I was still playing video games with the commitment that I used to play video games with, I could not have done the things that I'm doing right now.
It is. Maybe that's a message that the gaming industry needs. Hey, start making new shit. Or we gonna start actually living
doing
lives?
other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because honestly, and a lot of people have said this, and I completely agree with it. It's bad for gaming developers if your players want to do other things,
That's a fact, though.
because it means that yeah, you made a game and you had them for a while, but you're not entertaining them to the point where they want to stay and give you more money, right?
Actual.
That's a bar.
That's absolutely true.
You'll remember, brother, you'll remember that when we were both specialists, right? And we were actually thinking about considering going to a board without being told, what happened like 2 weeks before we said we were actually going to get our shit together and go to the board? The division dropped.
Yeah,
It was over with.
Division. Oh my god.
I remember the
It was
division.
over with. People
And-
forget how good the Division One really was.
Division
dog.
One was fantastic. That was really a
It
good
was.
game.
It was
They
good.
The
really-
Division One threw that board in the fucking trunk, bro. I wasn't even worried about that shit no more.
That game was so fucking good that it carried me into the second one, trying to make the second one as good as the first. Like I played the fuck
Yeah,
out the
I did the
second one
same thing.
just to
It was
make
torture.
it
I tried
as
so
good as the
hard.
first. It was nowhere near.
I did
just
the same
wasn't.
thing. I played.
It
the
wasn't
second one
as
thinking it was going to
challenging.
be as either as good, and then when I finished everything, I was like, I'm not feeling Division One vibes.
Nah,
Maybe the DLC will make it better. Let's wait. Maybe the DLC will make this game better. Maybe
it
it'll
did, but it
Division
just took
1
too
there.
long.
They
It did.
they
It
need
just
to
took way
make
too
the
long.
division way more like an MMO than they tried to.
That was the problem.
Like, because the
That was
Division
the problem.
One had so many MMO qualities, like
It did.
the gear you pick, the weapons you pick, everything that you had, everything that you focused you could literally focus things to a razor point. Somebody
Yeah.
said it was impossible to make a one-shot sniper build, and what did I do?
Oh, it ain't. Even
Lots
the
of people were
same-
like, "Oh yeah, that shit's impossible." No, it's not. You just got to build into it, and that's what
Right.
made the Division One so good. The Division Two, it was like, "Oh, let's just look up these meta builds that everybody can make in like 15 minutes." That shit's
Well,
boring.
that was the problem. That was the problem. That I think that's when the next generation of kids were starting to get a little older, and they created this whole concept of like we need the greatest bit, like, and not put in the work. Whereas our generation put in the work to make what we like to do optimal. You know what I'm saying? Where now they can just go online, search some shit, and cheat. You know what I mean? Like cheat their whole way into
This
shit.
this is technically the meta generation, and that's what they
Nah.
do. This is technically the meta generation. That's what they do. They look for a meta. They find something that is going to
But
get
that's
them
what
as close to a
Yeah.
Term meta
guarantee of
though, the term
success
meta
as
goes
they
way
can.
back before
that's what
Division.
takes
It
away
goes to
from
like
the.
it goes to like World of Warcraft days.
Sure,
But that takes away. But see, that takes away from us, the ones that keep. I don't think they understand this. The gaming industry really don't understand this shit, and they're gonna fuck up real bad if they don't get their shit together. The ages of, I would say, maybe 40 to about 25 is your gaming industry.
That was backwards.
should
25
have
to
said
40 is what
25
you
to
mean.
40. Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is if we don't, especially the 30s, like in the 30s, that's our shit. So if they continue to do shit like this and make games like stupid,
They can.
I give you an example, like, okay, Tekken, I love it, right? But see, here's a problem, right? We're gonna break this shit down. When we was coming up, when we was playing Tekken on arcade, right? The reason why we were so good at it and transition, and that's with any game, transition really good onto consoles, right? When consoles started becoming more and more big and people started to have their own money and buy consoles, the reason why it transitioned so well is because we got our ass kicked in the game. Like we didn't have opportunity to like, oh yeah, we're gonna show you a meta or a meta moves and combos. We had to actually learn
But
individual
because you
combos.
had to get your ass beat,
No,
you
no, no,
want
no,
them
no,
to
no,
get
no,
their ass beat.
no. Exactly, because think about this. They're literally okay. If you go on the Tekken right now, you can literally set your controller to hit R2 and R1 and do combos. That's
Yeah, I'm
bullshit.
tracking. That's absolute
That's
bullshit.
absolute bullshit. Same as
That's
Mortal
some
Kombat.
hand holding shit right there.
It is. It's
Yeah.
absolutely bullshit. You're not good at the game. You're good at mashing R1 and R2, bro. You don't even know what you're doing. You're just doing shit and you think that's good and you ruin the fun for people
Now,
like me. I took the time to learn this shit and get good at it. That's why when I became a dog, no one could really fuck with. It was a few people that could beat me cuz I learned the
question.
game. It's the same thing with the division. The division was good because there of course there was people making videos of how to make this or how to make that, but the difference was we all built our characters the way that they were. So even if a motherfucker built a meta build, that don't mean you could beat me. That does not mean
Also,
that you can beat me. You
good
have to be
shit
good
in the
for that shit.
division was actually hard to come by.
That's what I'm saying. But now everything is given. Everything is given from the jump. You can literally go online, crop a fucking app, to crop over a build, and just play like that. I think that is ruining looter shooters, is ruining fighting games, is ruining a lot of shit.
One of my first streams I ever watched was Sora playing the division when survival dropped. He got to the end of survival. He was one of the first people to do it. He got to the end of the survival round.
Yeah.
And then got popped in his back. And when he went down, he got killed by one of the hunters. And that motherfucker came over and kicked him. So he flipped over and stabbed him in his chest and walked off. And when I tell you that shit was so hard, bro.
The video is still currently posted on my YouTube page, by the way. You can check it out there.
And the crazy part is, guess what? That's probably a little ass kid that's not really good at the game, that just looked up a meta build to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not even good. So back then, like what I say is back then, even if this build thing was out there, you still had to compete with it. It wasn't like this is what you have to have in order to even compete. Now you gotta have certain shit. Like even if you watch Fortnite, any game, like you have to have a certain type of meta play in order to be competitive in the game. And I think that is egregious. That's egregious. You should be able to play however you like and get good at how you play to make yourself competitive, a competitor. You know, now it's like you have to play this way or you're not going to be good. Like, why if I buy Tekken and I don't play R1, R2 style, I can't compete? It's because these little motherfuckers, dog, that's all they know. And they got blocking down. That's all they know. They block, they play passive. They don't know how to dodge. They don't know how to sidestep, nothing. They just hit R1 and R2 and combo the fuck out of you. And it's just stupid. It's dumb. You don't even know that combo. You're just hitting R1 and R2.
I pose an argument and a wager.
Go ahead. This is a podcast. Talk.
I'm going to make a point, and then in 3 sentences or less, I'm going to prove that point to you after you state your argument.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff you just said
Mm-hmm.
was an excellent business move.
I mean, for the time, yeah. For the time, I guess it sold games, but then you lose your core fans at the same time on the top end. So even though you made your money, what's going to happen in 5 years? You keep making shit games like that and people get fed up. People are already complaining. There's less people buying 2K and all these meta builds and make you a slash and superstar or whatever the fuck. You know, like once people get fed up with the shit and it's not fun anymore and you have to build that in order to compete, it's over with.
You give them a different toy with a different shiny color on it.
It's not going to work for them.
Video games are geared toward who?
I think it's geared towards everybody.
That would be a lie.
I think it is.
Is anything truly geared toward everybody? Everything is geared with a target audience in mind.
I think that depends on the studio, because the studio is the one that ultimately decides who their audience is going to be.
It's funny that you asked that question.
But who's the target audience? Truly,
that is a good question.
So here's the thing. It's funny you asked that because a game that we've been talking about, Hellriders, they actually have that as their motto. If you go to the homepage on the website, it actually says a game that's made for everyone is meant for no one.
Right.
So you have to have a target audience.
And who do you think the video game industry as a whole, who do you think their target audience is going to be? Because it's truly everybody's target audience.
Yeah, I think the whole video game industry is for everybody because like Sin said, I think it depends on the studio, like the individual creator. Because if you go to Naughty Dog is not meant for little kids. Naughty Dog is not meant for anybody under the age of 18. If you look at those games, we're talking about if you're talking about Uncharted, fucking
Uncharted, The Last of Us.
The Last of Us, those games are meant for our generation.
Oh, try to get a young kid nowadays to understand the conspiracy tangled web that is the Metal Gear fucking storyline.
Oh, for real?
They're not gonna get that shit.
They're
You know
not
what I
gonna
mean?
get any of it. They're gonna be
But-
just sitting there drooling.
But let's say Fortnite, you know what I'm saying?
They understand
Or
Fortnite?
yeah, they understand, that's why that's all they play is Fortnite, and fucking they don't even
Fortnite
really
has
play.
no story. Fortnite is just like, I'm in a lobby, now on a map. And I'm in a
You
lobby,
turn the
now I'm
game
on a
on
map.
and shoot. Mhm.
And they put all the new like rappers or singers or social media people, they put them
all
in
the
Fortnite.
what people?
Rappers, singers,
No. The word I'm looking for is the adjective.
all the
New. All the new rappers, all the new artists, all the shit that who would like.
yeah, kids, but that's Fortnite though.
Okay, that's Fortnite and
Spider-Man and shit like that.
name a
They do it in
video
Call of
game
Duty
that
too.
doesn't do that.
There's a lot of games that don't do that shit.
Name
There's a
some.
fuck
Games do.
ton. God of War don't do that shit.
Yeah,
God of
probably,
War doesn't
probably
have
a solo
skins.
game.
God of
No.
War don't do that shit.
No.
God of War doesn't have skins and mods and shit.
Fuck no, not for that shit. Hell
No.
no. God of War is for our generation.
And
Completely.
I wouldn't use mods as an example. Anybody can make a mod, and
Yeah, that's fair.
That
Yeah,
has nothing
mods
to do
are
with the company
mods are
itself.
mods
Yeah,
are
like
fucking user
Fortnite,
made.
Minecraft, Roblox. Those are like children games. Like if I was a kid now, that's what I would play. But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm an adult that came up with gaming, and I know what's meant for us. Like,
Arguably,
yeah,
is
majority
Call
of
of
the
Duty
games.
for children?
I think Call of Duty, the biggest players of Call of Duty is grown ass people, or military or ex-mil. Like most of the people that play COD is us. Remember when we were
Define
kids?
grown.
Remember when we were kids? You
I
remember
remember
when
when we were 18 and living in the barracks and
Even
we hopped on that
17.
bitch and played video games.
even
Yeah, I
before
remember.
18, when we was 17, when Modern Warfare 4 dropped, when we got on to play that shit,
Exactly.
majority of the people were grown ass men, dog. Talking shit to little kids, bro. Facts. Every lobby I got in, it was grown ass men. Like, suck your mom's coochie and shit like
What
that.
the
Like it was
Yeah, they
I'm
used to say
being
some crazy shit. They did.
grown
Yeah,
ass
he's not wrong.
men.
I mean,
He's not
he's
wrong.
not lying. He ain't lying. But
Majority of people that play COD is still grown as hell. Like you
let
got
me ask
old
you this
people.
though. Quick
Uh-huh.
question: how many people in your life have you met that from our generation, right? From our
Yeah.
generation, how many people did you personally know
Yeah.
that grew up without access to the internet?
Nobody. We all had that shit at a certain age.
At a certain age, we all had it, but we
Yeah.
knew people at points in our life that didn't have internet. Kids today don't know that.
Yeah, but that's okay. Like we grew up on
Because
AOL
of the fact
dial-up.
that
It's
they don't
okay.
know that though, there's more of them, bro. Do you know how much
It's not
the
though.
video game industry is 25% children?
And then what's the other 75%?
The other 75% is not a majority. It's not a singular group. It's broken down into multiple. That's a singular group
Yeah.
making up a total of 25% of your mass.
Yeah,
Because
but I
you're
get
losing 25% of your
That's not-
body weight right now.
but children are not the biggest buyers of the video game industry. I don't think you understand that. It's our generation.
Children aren't the biggest buyers because their parents buy it for
That's
them.
my point. That's my fucking point. And we play games with them or games too. Like I have a whole
Sure.
gaming PC in my room and my kids play the PlayStation. But I play games way more than my kids do. Their attention span is just not on my level. It's just not like Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox. They'll play all day, right? But I play adult
but
games. I
with
put
your
money
kids,
into these
right?
games. The kids don't buy the games. I buy them.
Yeah, I get that. But with your kids, right? Because for starters, you act as a filter for your kids. Step one, your kids actually play games that you already know are for people of fucking class. That's besides the point.
I let them play COD if they know how to play it.
Yeah, if they know how to play it, enjoy, understand what a video game is. That's cool. But what I'm saying is When was the last time you absolutely didn't have time to play video games?
Never.
Yeah, it's exactly.
There's never a time where I can't play a video
You've
game.
always had time. Is that the case for the average adult American?
Yes, that's the fucking yes. That's like saying, when does anybody have time to look at their phone? Nigga, everybody got time to look at their phone. Everybody.
Yeah,
I don't care if
looking at
you
your
homeless or
phone
not.
that you carry in your pocket. That's a computer in your pocket. I'm talking about people that have time to sit down on their couch, unwind, and play video games all
Every
night.
single
with their friends.
body. Every person does. Everybody has that time.
First and foremost, a lot of people don't. Secondly,
Where? Name people that beside unless you're a fucking brain neurologist, you got time to play a video game, bro. At least for 30 minutes a day, you got time.
All right. So you telling me there's not people out there working 2-3 jobs right now that real deal don't got time?
Yeah, there is people, but you can name 2-3 kids.
Y'all for a second. I'm gonna interrupt y'all for a second. Just hold your thought. Hey, Black.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a brain neurologist that plays video games a lot. In fact, he likes playing what is it? Not RuneScape. He plays RuneScape so much that he has his entire PC set up like next to his operating room. So like in one room he has like his character macroed like mining shit, and then he's doing surgery in another room, and when he's done he just goes back and plays games.
That is crazy.
Imagine finding out your neurologist rushed your surgery so he could get back to farming.
I would rather have a surgeon that's in the shit that I'm into than one that ain't.
But could you imagine though how you would feel if he sat you down after your surgery and said, "Hey, it was an overwhelming success. I'm glad too, because I was really trying to get back to farming that day." You'd be happy, but you'd be in your head like, "Yo, you could have murdered me, bro."
I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with
I'd
that.
give him that for that. Honestly, I would.
Imagine if he even slightly fucked up. You wouldn't feel the same, right?
Nah, I wouldn't, but they fuck up and they be on some bullshit. I don't want no old ass person working on me.
Who's perfect at brain surgery? Ain't nobody on this damn planet perfect at brain surgery.
Nobody's perfect at it, but you want the motherfucker a little better than I would really like.
But you making the assumption that while he's sitting there fucking poking around in your brain holes that he's thinking about farming in the game.
All right, so I would like to ask you guys, how many times have you daydreamed about playing video games while being at work?
Every time, every single day.
Shut the fuck up then.
A lot, but not all the time. A lot, but not all the time.
But you've done it.
Yeah.
So what's stopping him? He less human than you?
I'm cool with that. That don't bother me if somebody thinking about something.
When you're at cosmetology school, you tell me you haven't thought about anything else when you're there?
He's absolutely has.
Yeah, you have, bro. I don't want to hear that. You definitely have.
I know what you was thinking. I know you ain't even got to say it. I know what you was thinking about the entire time.
You have no fucking clue what I was thinking about. You just consider me a degenerate, and I resent
still not
that.
the job description, is it? It's not. It's not. So it don't matter what you're thinking about. If it's not about the job description, then it doesn't matter. And don't try to tell me it fits in the parameters. I don't want to hear that shit. If you're not thinking directly about rubbing backs and doing, you know what I'm saying? Then you're doing something of interest. So it could be video games, it could be anything. It doesn't matter. And that's why our generation is the main. We can look this shit up, dog. I guarantee you.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, and now I guarantee you, our generation is the biggest buyer and consumer of video games.
2022. Let me pull up the 2024 numbers real quick.
Matter of fact, let's just do this right here. Game of the year for the past 15 years. For the past 15 years have been what games? Not no childish shit. Fortnite never win Game of the Year, did it?
All right. Question.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Game of the year for the last 15 years.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Is a 25-year-old still kind of a kid to you?
No. 24. No, they fucking not. No.
Where do you consider them to be too young in their head that you consider them to be a kid nowadays?
I like 18 and below.
18. Oh, only 18 and below.
Yeah, to me that's still a kid.
So you grown automatically once you hit 18 is what you're telling me. You haven't met an 18-year-old
once you turn 18 as a gamer, your interest in certain games are no longer there. Like you might play Fortnite here and there, but you gonna be playing some whole other shit.
All right. So we going based off of the actual Game Awards, right? Like not no Dice Awards and anything else. So you go
fuck
back.
All that.
It's Baldur's Gate 3 for 2023, Elden Ring for 2022. It Takes Two for 2021.
Grown ass game.
The Last Part of Us. I'm sorry, The Last of Us.
The Last Part of Us.
The Last Part of Us is crazy.
To mine,
I'm mid burger right now. So,
All right.
Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, 2019. God of War, 2018.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, 2017.
Of course.
Overwatch.
Grown ass people playing Legend Zelda.
Overwatch 2016 and 2015 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. 2014, this is as far back as the list goes so far, is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Right. There was only one game I'll consider kids get into is Overwatch. Outside of that,
Yeah,
all of them
that's
shits have
about
been
it.
grown ass games that we played. Us, our generation. There ain't been one Fortnite. There ain't been one Minecraft, Roblox, none of that shit. It's a reason for that, bro. We run that shit.
What percentage of adult males in the United States would you say play video games?
Probably like a solid, I'd say like a solid 40%.
Solid 40%.
On our level, though. On our level of game.
I'll be generous and I'll give you 70%.
That's too high. That's too high.
That's generous as fuck, right? Super generous.
That's too high.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Does not matter at all. Because the percentage of little boys playing video games every year is 96%.
That's not true, though.
I'm reading a statistic to you. I'm reading it right to you.
True, but I'm telling you, it's not true. It's just not true. That's some bullshit shit.
Did you take a census?
Bro, what website are you on, first of all?
I bet.
Give me the website, because it's bullshit.
It's on playtoday.co.
Yeah, it sounds like bullshit to me. Name 96% of households that can afford video games.
I thought you were about to say name 96% of children.
I was about to be like, God damn.
That part too, though.
I look like Santa Claus. I'm Santa now, nigga. What the fuck?
Now, if you say like 85, like that's just like them saying 96% of children are consuming Instagram at a higher, at 96% of children are on Instagram. How can you say that when 96% of children don't even have a fucking cell phone?
Yeah, but see, here's the problem, right? Is most children in the United States now have access to the internet. Most of them. And
we did too.
In order to game is access to the internet.
We did too. Coming up, that's what I'm saying.
I was playing Delta Force on fucking 56K dial-up.
Yeah, everybody was on it. When AOL dial-up came out, we was on that shit. What are we talking about?
And even in school, we had in computer class in school, I would hit up Newgrounds. Yeah.
Yes. There's absolutely possibilities to do it. There's ways to do it. There was ways to do it when we came up. I think we're really underestimating just how deep that difference is and how easy their access to this shit is.
Nah, it's not that.
Like, remember when you had a Game Boy?
Yeah, I remember.
These motherfuckers talking to a Game Boy all day.
For sure. Like, yeah, I believe that they have more access to it than we did, but
and that higher access
higher statistic. But they don't buy shit. That's what you don't get. They don't buy anything. They don't
just take their parents' money and buy it.
But if you look at the demographic of how games are selling and what games are the biggest sellers, it is from our generation. It's not from their shit. Yeah, so they're not the ones that move the needle. Gaming is not designed just for them. There's certain games that's designed for kids. There's certain games that's designed for adults. And then there's games that's designed for everyone. If you go in 2K right now, you can find an 8-year-old kid and you can find a fucking 42-year-old man that loves Michael Jordan. The same.
That can be said on any video game, correct?
No, it can't. You're gonna find.
What video game can't you find a child on?
No, I'm saying there's parameters. Like 2K is probably even, but if you go to Call of Duty, there's more adults on COD than there is children.
Sure.
Just like if you go on Fortnite, there's more children on Fortnite than there is adults.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, you can even calculate the ERSB rating system into this because a lot of these games are specifically not intended for young audiences. That doesn't mean you won't catch a kid on them, but they were never made for
rated them. M for mature ain't nothing but candy for these.
I had Grand Theft Auto. Come on, we all play San Andreas when we weren't supposed to.
But it goes to speak, right? That the studio made the game for a specific audience.
Yeah, right.
And cigarette makers make cigarettes for a specific audience.
That's like you saying that just because you see children smoking cigarettes at a higher rate means that there's more children smoking cigarettes than adults, and that's not true.
No, I'm not saying that there's more children playing video games than adults. I'm saying there's more children playing video games consistently than adults.
No, not at all. Not even close.
There are kids right now.
Yeah, I guarantee you there's no kid in America that plays. There's no kid.
You still do what you did when we were kids?
No, but what I'm saying is
still sit
now I
up for
can.
48 hours straight and play a video game?
No.
Bang that shit out, take your ass to work on Monday, and then get off work Monday and play until like 9 o'clock at night, then go to sleep again? Can you do that?
No, but guess what though? But guess what though? Since I am an adult, right? Since I am an adult, I can schedule out how I play games. Whereas children gotta go to school, they gotta do shit. You know what I mean? If I'm an adult and I'm a productive adult taking care of shit, say I was working it like I was before, the amount of the Division 1 that we played, dog, there was no kid in the world that was playing games longer than us when we was playing the Division 1, and we was in the military, dog.
That's because we were in the military and on leave, nigga. We were literally on
vacation. That shit on duty. We would get off work and go straight to that shit.
Hell yeah, we do that too. But like,
right.
I was on leave when Division dropped for a month.
It didn't matter when we got back. Did we go to boards and all that?
We kept banging.
Exactly, but there is some.
Let me ask you: could you play like that now? Could you get up now and go
play way more games now than I ever did in my life?
What I'm asking you is, could you do what you were doing then, though? Could you go work 80A and come home, play video games all night, and go work 80A again?
Yeah, that shit is light. That shit is light, bro. Absolutely, bro. I do it now with school. I play games all night, and I wake up and go to class.
I challenge you.
He does do it. He does do it. I can't even front.
He does.
I can't even front.
I still do this shit. Like that shit is light,
and
bro.
I would do it too. Honestly, if the games were good enough, like
it gotta be the right game.
Yeah, you're not gonna see me hopping on New World till 5 a.m. anymore because the game just ain't doing it for me. You know what I'm saying? Dragon's Dogma come out, Eiyuden Chronicles come out, Final Fantasy Rebirth come out. Yeah, you probably gonna catch me pulling some crazy hours.
Crazy hours, bro. Crazy hours. And these kids, there's kids that's doing it. Don't get it twisted. There is children that's doing it, but the difference is they don't have access to certain shit, and they don't have no fucking money.
Right.
So they're not the ones that's doing this shit for real. It's us. Our generation is what's keeping the gaming alive. A 18-year-old to below kid is not doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Right. We could do this shit on their level of gaming, and we're still buying game after game after game. That's a fact. How many games you bought last year, Sora?
How many games did I buy last year?
Last year, about 12, right? 15, somewhere around that.
I mean, last year was stacked. I wouldn't use.
How many kids bought a game last year? The average kid in America, how many games they buy?
Probably none. They got their parents to buy things.
And don't their parents play games? Look at what's the kid that come in here all the time? His dad play COD.
Who, Huncho?
Yeah.
Huncho, a grown ass man.
Huncho,
not Huncho. So the other one,
Huncho, an adult with an apartment.
Not Huncho.
I know who you're talking about. He was in here the other day.
I
know who you're talking about. Top Shotter.
Top Shotter. He come in here all the time.
Oh yeah.
His dad and mom play Call of Duty, bro, and he gotta ask them to buy a separate game, the same game for another console in their house. His mom and dad play the game, and they're like maybe a little older than us. They probably like 41.
They ain't yelling at him to take out the trash.
They yelling at him to go take the trash out while they playing COD.
We're gonna talk about Eiyuden Chronicles. Sin, you had something you wanted to mention, right?
Oh no, that's just one of the games that I am definitely anticipating. It's coming out in April. This game is pretty dope. So all my JRPG fans out there, if you guys ever played old games like Wild Arms 1 or 2 or 3, Wild Arms got I think like up to like 6 games now, 5 or 6. Yeah, 6 if you include the PSP. If you like Suikoden, even if you got like games that are newer like Octopath Traveler, this is definitely one that's gonna come out dope. If anyone's ever played Suikoden before, this was one of these JRPGs, bro, where I kid you not, there were 108 characters to collect throughout the game.
God damn.
Yeah, and every one of them had its own unique storyline to them. Like you had to be at certain places at certain times in the game, or you was gonna miss out on a character. You had to do the story certain ways. You talking about like things like Baldur's Gate, how it's like, oh, it depends on the decisions you make. This was one of those first games that really started to actually do that.
Is there a part of that game where you have to trade something in order to get it to like evolve?
No, you really didn't have to trade anything. This game was just full on like if anything it had like elements of old school Final Fantasy in it. And I would definitely have like Wild. So it's like HP mana system, you know what I mean? HP, MP, things like that. You could have up to like 6 party members. The map was huge. It had like a built-in mini strategy war system in it, where basically like you would control little army units, and then you get to see them collide on the battlefield. It was really good for its time, and yeah, this was one of the first like JRPGs that I played, Suikoden. But the creator of this game actually went on to do a Kickstarter to make Eiyuden Chronicles, and unfortunately, I just found out recently that he actually passed away, which is probably the reason why Suikoden's remaster, even though he's not with Konami anymore, is actually on delay. I imagine that he, even though he wasn't with Konami, he had to have some input on that. But the Suikoden remasters for 1 and 2 have just been on delay forever. Like these games, this is another thing that's pissing me off in the industry. They announce in games way too damn early because
Right.
it's
I agree.
crazy. Like I'm sitting here and I'm seeing TBD on a game title forever and ever and ever, and it's enough to make me want to pull my what little hair I got left on my head off, man. So
It's
it's
been
just
like that with Ark and Star Wars, the Star
And
Wars
yeah,
Dragon.
man, it's
Outlaws game.
crazy.
They've been talking about them
Like
for
start
years.
announcing these
Still
games like
TBD.
6 months before they come out or something, or even a year. But I'm talking, I've seen one of these games on here for like a full year and a half now with TBD, which means that it's still probably going to be another year before I see it, and it's crazy.
It might
But
be a
yeah,
year before you
this
see
one's a
the
good one.
date.
This Eiyuden Chronicles, that's definitely my game for April. I'm gonna be looking out for that one. This is supposed to have the similar hero system to those Suikoden games, so a lot of characters to collect, and I'm anticipating it because it's like I still like 2D pixel games, but I really like the way games like Octopath Traveler did it, where it's just like it's vibrant, man. It's no longer just
Yeah, I've
like
watched you play Octopath Traveler.
yeah,
It's fun to
it's
watch.
vibrant, bro. It looks beautiful. It's like you can immerse yourself into the backgrounds and the settings, and I love it. But this is gonna be like next level. I think this is gonna be even bigger. R.I.P. to Yoshitaka Maruyama. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, rest in peace.
You
Rest in
will be
peace.
missed, and I'm get the game, bro. No worries,
So
bro.
the
I'm
only
gonna
game
play the
that
shit out of it.
stands out to me for the month of May is Hellblade, and Black already mentioned Hellblade. So I do want to move on and talk about former Game of the Year winner Elden Ring. I don't remember whether it's a new title or if it's a DLC for Elden Ring, but they are releasing something new for their fans in June of 2024, and considering this game won Game of the Year, I think it's gonna be pretty nice.
Hey,
Now I
big
know.
secret out there. Big secret. I'm throwing it out there. I'm the one guy who hasn't played Elden Rings. Not a single Elden Rings game has come across my hands and my controller.
Mm.
What was your
If
favorite Elden Ring storyline?
I wouldn't know because I didn't play any of them.
Well, I'm talking to the bald guy.
that's crazy. It's only one Elden Ring title.
Yeah,
You talking
but
about
then the
you
Elden
talking
Ring
about
was
Dark
in
Souls?
another universe, like another one. There was a
You talking
dark.
about
Yeah,
Dark
No,
Souls? You
like
isn't
talking
that
in
the
about
same
their
universe?
Yeah,
no,
Dark Souls.
no. Well, yeah, the same universe. Well, fucking, I mean, like your favorite. I guess your favorite character is just a better way to put it. Fuck it.
What in which game?
An Elden Ring.
Elden Ring,
Like,
Dark Souls, Demon
like
Souls.
I really liked
I never
watching
played
Tal
them.
fight the Valkyrie.
There is a Valkyrie inside Dark Souls as well. Fucking hate that bitch.
I always enjoy
And
watching.
on God of War it's as well. God of War's Valkyrie's a little. I don't know.
I
I would
don't
love to
play
see that
masochist
mashup.
games. Like I don't play masochist games, but I love watching other people play masochist games. What the hell was that chick's name with that thin ass sword
Oh,
on Elden
the
Ring?
ice bitch. I forgot.
Millennia.
Yeah, I forgot.
Millennia slid black like 8 times.
Yeah, more than that. That bitch slid me for half a day.
Yeah, but I only watched 8 of
That bitch
them.
that was the second day I was on her when you saw it. I was on her
That
the night before. You had got on. I was still fighting the same bitch.
man Black committed to his video games though. I'll give him that. Like I feel like you fall into an anomaly category though. Like I don't feel like most adults our age can game like you game.
I don't know.
I
I don't
think it
know.
depends on the game.
I looked at the statistics and it says the biggest gamers are 18 to 34. So that's my
Yeah,
age frame.
I think it depends on the game. And anybody, if they don't have to go to work in the morning or go to school in the morning, like something that they legitimately have to leave the house and get off the game to do. If there's a game that they're that invested into, then they can do it. Like there was a time when I first started playing New World. That wasn't too long ago. I was still in the military at the time, but when New World dropped, that's all I wanted to do. Like I went to work, but then I came home and I played New World, and I would play it all night, and then I would go to work. You know what I mean?
Rinse and
Like
repeat.
yeah, rinse and repeat. Like I barely slept because I enjoyed playing the game, at least from the ground up, that much. Now I got all the shit I want. So y'all see me now when I turn on New World, I'm there for like a couple, maybe an hour or two, and I'm out
We
of
hop
there.
on there like, hey, what artifact we need? And I said, we get it and
Yeah.
we gone.
Yeah, but you know it depends on the title and how invested into it you are at that time.
For me, it's been Baldur's Gate as of late. I think I got a lot of hours in that shit, bro. I'm at 400 and something. You know what I mean? I have a lot of hours in Baldur's Gate, and now I'm only taking a break because I was supposed to do playthroughs with certain people and sure, what the motherfuckers didn't fucking do it.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't know
man
who you're
says
talking
shmurga,
about.
shmurga, shmurga like a
You
Hanna-Barbera character.
talking about you
I don't know
and
who you're talking
Wolfman,
about.
both of y'all.
You each get a token
Uh-huh.
to put into a video game machine, put in an arcade slot, and you can select one quality that you feel a captivating game would have.
One category?
One thing you can pick, one thing that captivating game has to have to just pull you in. Now,
Fuck, that's
mind
tough.
you, there's 3 of you, and you're all working on the same game.
Oh,
Yeah,
so we're gonna affect each other's game?
You sure are.
Okay, I already know what I want.
yeah, I know what I
All
want.
of you.
Yeah, go ahead,
You want
Sin.
me-
You came
all
up.
right.
Yeah, I got
A
one.
good a really intricate class system.
Intricate class system. I like that. Like character customization, that type of
Yep,
thing.
that's where it's
Yeah,
at.
I gotta have that too in most games too. I think mine is amazing core gameplay. Like that gameplay has to be on point. Like everything, like you know how in 2K you can hit a button and then you got to do a whole animation and shit be delayed. Like I hate that shit about video games. Like the gameplay itself, whatever the gameplay style is, it has to be immaculate. Everything you input, everything you do is crispy. And the gameplay
Butter. It's got to
fits.
be butter smooth.
It's got to be butter butt smooth. And that's my thing. Gameplay
Flawless
has
engineering, flawless gameplay. Okay.
flawless game.
This is a hard question for me because y'all know me. I think too much. I think about too much shit.
Yeah.
So there's 3 things in my head right now, and I'm just trying to
Pick one.
decide which one is better in terms of this game that we would be creating. Sin, you said intricate class system. Black, you said good core gameplay.
The best, like
Talking
just
like low input latency, buttery
that
smooth
included with
graphics,
the
no
controls.
loading
The controls have
screens.
to make sense. No loading screens. Like just everything is synonymously smooth and excellent with the gameplay of the game.
When you talk like that, I hear MMO. Like I hear a really good fucking MMO
That's what's coming.
that
That's
I
what.
haven't
Yeah.
seen. So if we're talking in that frame, I would say an actual live service game. There are no games that I believe are actually live service right now. You know, in the actual term live service, where like if someone does something in the world, the actual world changes, right? Depending on how significant that person did was.
I see what you mean.
Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That would
Mhm.
be fire. That would be fire.
A certain permanence to like what people do.
Right.
Yeah. I think the only game I seen that actually happen in was Battlefield 2 Bad Company. But it resets after you leave the map.
Yeah.
But like if you did something significant and you remember that shit, Battlefield
Yeah.
Bad Company 2, you'll blow up a building, like you can no longer go there. Like if motherfuckers are sniping, blow the building up. You know what I'm saying? Like if you keep getting popped, get in the tank, blow that fucking building up. No one can go
No more
snipe there no
sniper.
more. No more snipers, motherfucker. Get on ground. I love that about games where you do something and it affects everything. So yeah, I see what you mean. That's fire. That's fire.
So our 3 qualities, if I'm to remember, are smooth gameplay mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
intricate class system,
Mm-hmm.
and fully live service.
Yeah, affecting the world around each
Yeah.
character and player.
Yeah, live service.
Yeah,
All
that would
right.
be fire, dog.
Now, I will add a quality. It must contain microtransactions.
Oh my god. Oh my
You
god.
trying to catch hands is what you trying to do. It's crazy. I don't know why, but
All right, so I have a question. To your input of the game, Wolf. After Black and Sin mentioned what they said, the first thing that popped into my head was MMO. So, microtransactions in MMOs is not far off, right? But, and I would hope that the rest of the team making this game would argue, that the only microtransactions that you can add are strictly cosmetic.
No, I don't agree with that.
Now I'll tell you what. Ooh, this brings us to
I
another
don't agree with
riveting
the
point.
cosmetic one.
I'll
The
tell you
only
what.
reason why I feel like anything cosmetic in the game should be allowed if you earned it. I
You
feel
may
like a
all
microtransaction
add.
should be like
You
something else. You know what I
you
mean?
can
Something
add
else.
one more
What else would it
rule,
be?
but it has to be a rule all three of you agree on.
I don't think microtransactions should be in the game, honestly. But if it was, I don't think it should be on cosmetics. I think it should be something another
Like
way to
what?
creatively get the community. Hold that thought, Wolf, because I'm really intrigued on what you're about to say. But I think
He lying.
if no, I am. If you do microtransactions, I don't think it should be a cosmetic thing. I think if you do microtransactions, especially if you're doing a live service game, prime example, like a 2K idea we had, right? With the updated roster. So say you want to move into the next game, right? Or the next version of 2K20 that's out for 2020 to 2025, right? The microtransaction should be for a roster update, like a $2.99 for the
So like a
roster update.
DLC, a DLC
Yeah,
expansion.
something like that that makes the game continue to flow. Not I think the cosmetic shit and like little weapon skins, like you should not have to pay for that. You should go earn it. It should be something in the game where you can earn that skin, where you put in the work and that divides you between the players. You see what I'm saying? That makes you special. It shouldn't be something you go buy and like, oh, I got the cool Gatling gun. And like, nah, you had to go kill 5 Yetis for that shit. You know what I'm saying? You had to put in the work for that shit. Dog. You're not just getting that skin
Five
you paid
Yetis.
All
right.
right, so there's
Go earn
definitely
that.
Yetis in our game, guys.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
hearing Yetis.
All right, fair enough. So is that the rule we're all agreeing to then? Because that was the next stipulation. You may add one additional rule, but it must be a rule that all three of you agree on.
You see, so for me, I'll agree, but only because. But here's the thing: I sense out of everything that we're saying, I sense a better Destiny. So keep going. Let's continue.
I got a rule. I got a rule. Any and all PKing will build you will build a bounty on your head until you're caught, and people can add to that bounty if they want to. They don't have to, but a bounty does by initiality just start building up on you the more players you kill, which means that I'll even allow you to kill in town. It's just that just keep in mind where you kill is going to have an effect on your bounty.
I like that.
You kill in town, you're a more dangerous target. It's not like killing out in the wild. So you kill somebody in town, your bounty about to get nice and big.
Well, shit, I
like
kind of
that.
like that because
I like that.
think about it. You kill somebody in a town, and then everybody sees you do it, and everybody adds money to your bounty.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
6 million players add $5 to your bounty.
I like that. And it can
And
be like an
and
announcement.
whoever gets to kill gets that bounty.
Mm.
I like that. I do like that. And that's an easy way to create currency in the game too. Because let's say that the bounty doesn't come from the player you kill. It's just a whirlpool that everybody has to chip into. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like every
that's
day
basically-
somebody has to
You
pay
just
like
go to the
50
job
cents.
board, you pick a player that has a bounty, and you can be like, you know what? I ran into this guy. I'm gonna add like 2,000 gold to this bounty.
Right. And it doubles it. So you could just bounty chase. You could be a bounty hunter. You know what I mean?
be a
Oh
bounty
yeah, I
hunter,
fuck
yeah.
with
All
that.
right. What say you, Sora? Is that the rule?
I fuck with that rule. I like that.
I'm in charge of making sure the game stays live service. I'm pretty focused over here. I got my mind on other things.
You just went from Destiny 2 to Arma 3 mods.
So
Like
is
it.
that a yes?
Yeah, whatever the first Arn said.
Bet.
Here we go,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Here we fucking go, bro.
So let's cut a deal. You guys get this rule, and I get one more.
All right, let's go. What you got?
What was the rule?
Which one? Because I made one and Sim made one.
No, but Sin just agreed with the one you laid out, and then I asked Sora, and he consented too. So that's the one I'm talking about.
Well, my rule was the microtransaction rule.
Microtransactions, yeah.
Sin's was that one. Sin was the bounty. The bounty.
The bounty. Oh yeah, the bounty system. Absolutely.
Yeah. I fuck with that. Keep writing this. I know you typing this shit up.
That is fucking genius. All right, cool.
I was fine.
So
Hey, Sin. Yeah, so I'm looking at your server right now on this game that we're creating, and I've found 16 people floating in the air. We don't have flying mounts, do we?
No.
Okay, all right, so they're cheating. All right.
shit.
Did we make flying mounts? I think so.
Oh, I see where he's going with this.
I think we should make flying or flying abilities, the character customization, like you said. It could be an ability where you can fly, just not indefinitely. You know what I'm saying? You got to come down, land, and get back up. You know?
All right.
What was a game
I'll
like
let
that?
you
What was
guys
it? Aeon, I think used to have flying, or was it Rift? I can't. It was an
Oh.
old MMO that you used to actually be able to earn wings, and you could fly, but you could only fly temporarily until your stamina ran out.
Right. And you got to kill 15 dragons for that. You can't just get that. You
Well,
gotta
it's
go
like
earn that.
everybody had wings, right? But if you wanted wings that could make you fly for a long time, yeah, you had to do some stupendous shit. Like
You gotta
fucking.
kill 15 dragons, world dragons too, but in
Yeah,
solo.
I've decided my next rule.
Listen,
No scrubs allowed.
I get to design 3 bosses, 3 hidden bosses called the 3 Kings.
I'll make an addendum.
Agreed.
That idea is fire. Make it 7.
The 7 kings, that's fire.
The 7 Kings.
And I will also add to that as well. You remember that town where you can find bounties, right? You remember like if you go to town and the bounty guy comes there and he kills somebody in town is more egregious. Well, those world bosses can pop up in your town. So say it's 50 players in a town, that boss can just spawn in that bitch.
And
The
the
boss
game
can
is
spawn
live.
under
And
specific conditions.
yes, and
Yeah.
since the game is live service, if a boss shows up in town and no one defeats it, we X that town out of the game.
Yeah, it's done
And
for.
then we build another one.
He's done.
They rebuild and they rename it something else because they move the fuck on. Lovely. Lovely.
And-
All right,
and-
I'm cool with that.
And if he kills everybody in town, you got to recreate a new character. You do get to keep all your progress, like your achievements.
Oh,
you get to
going
keep
extra.
that. No, I'm saying you get to keep your achievements and shit like that. The shit that's in your, you know what I mean? You get to keep your shit, but you die. You got to create a new character with the same stat lines, but you have to start over in that sense, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I wouldn't-
So essentially, you have to offshoot your player sheet. Like we've all done it in D&D.
I don't like the
We've
idea
all
of
done that
permadeath.
stupid
I've
shit.
never liked the idea of permadeath in
that's
games.
That's why I'm like, you're going a little over.
No,
there.
not honor mode. Not like you got to start the game over. I'm saying like, say you die, right? Say that world boss comes in a specific condition and he kills everybody in the town. The town is gone. That characters are gone. So you can make an ascended version of your character with the same shit, but you have to rebuild
Okay.
again. See what I'm saying?
I have a change to make to that, just a little change, right?
Mhm.
Because I like what you're doing. I like where you're at with it. But instead of making it like a change like that, why don't we just do what every other successful game does with that? And instead of that, you get charged for medical treatment like GTA. After
can
a
do
while, death will
Yeah.
become virtually meaningless. But that amount of your money they take upon death increases based on how much you got. And it comes straight out of your accounts.
I guess that could be.
Boom. Give them the U.S.
I don't know.
healthcare system
I don't
real
know.
quick.
If you're gonna do a thing where the person has to start a whole new character, I'm not for starting a whole new
Yeah, me either.
character. But
Yeah, no new
here's what
character,
I
just
would
charge you
accept.
some
Here's
money.
what I would accept, and it would promote creating alt characters. If you do have a special event where a large boss attacks a town and manages to wipe the entire town,
Mhm.
I could see not being able to log into that character for a certain duration of time, which would incentivize players to just jump on alts and level them up.
Characters
think
who
I-
live there. That makes sense.
I don't know. I think that one's worse because you break the motion of like you being into it. Like if I lose my main character, I'm gonna be upset. I'd rather have a
Well, that's what
resurrection.
I'm saying. You don't lose them. You just
Yeah, that's
can't
what I'm
log
saying.
in for them
I
for
never
like
said
30
you lose
minutes.
the character. You don't lose the character. What I mean is you have to create a new person, like a resurrected or ascended version of your character. You see what I'm saying? You get the same character back, the same achievements, and they have to come back. You see what I'm saying? You could bring them back, but it's just not the same person. It's like their soul. You know what I'm saying? Their soul with the same. It could look like the same person. They could have the same abilities. All your achievements are still there, but you have to resurrect him and start anew.
If it's
Like
the
a-
same, it may as well be the same motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like
that's
a
what I'm saying. Like,
Nah, it's like a resurrection system though. More so like it's hard to describe.
Why
I would
not?
have to
Why not a
write it out.
Pokemon Center system anyway? Like when you died in fucking Pokemon, you just pop back up at a hospital or a Pokemon Center.
Yeah, I don't
Bang,
want
bang.
that. I don't want that. Like where your character comes back the same as he was. Like no, something's altered about you.
So
You know what
what
I'm saying?
about armor damage? That's a fair exchange.
Yeah, that's a given. That's a given. Like armor
Then-
damage, shit like that's given. But
So what if
I'm
we
saying
just
when
roll
you
with
die,
that?
it has to be some type of fun on dying. But if you're a dark character, it could be a benefit. Like there's different ways and alternatives to play it. I just don't want you to die and then be able to come right back as the same person as you were. Like I think that's something that's been missing in video games for a long time. I'm not saying restart like play honor mode where if you die you got to start the whole game over. No, but when you die, it is imperative that you don't want to die. But
What
at the
if-
same, go ahead.
Because I get where you're going. What if, in the event that you're killed in the town, fuck, I had it on the tip of my fucking tongue. I don't know. I just don't get the point of reincarnating the same guy when you can just have the guy come back for something. There it is. That's what I was saying. If you're killed in a town, right?
Mhm.
Then whatever killed you in that town ran you out of that town. So everything that you own in that town gets either pushed someplace else and some of it gets taken. You've been run out of the area. They robbed you. You got some of your shit, but they got some of it too. And the only way you can get your shit back is killing what killed you. Boom. Now there's stakes. Nobody has to die permanently. Everybody wins.
I like a
Pillage system. Boom.
I think pillage is okay. I think the reincarnation would be better though. I think like a reincarnation thing would be a lot better.
What say you, Senski?
I like the idea of pillage. I'm not gonna lie, Black. The whole recreating the character, reincarnating just sounds a lot like a respawn.
Me. Yeah, you wasn't selling me on that.
I think y'all taking it as like an honor mode thing, like your character permanently dies. That's not what I meant. You know what I'm saying? It's a reincarnation system. It's different. It's different than anything you ever played before. Like it's not.
How is the character different when they reincarnate?
You're reincarnated. You're reincarnated. You see what I'm saying?
You look
come
the same,
back,
all your same skills. So what's
No,
differentiating you from a regular player?
Status.
No, they can be. They can be. You see what I'm saying? They can. You can make them the exact same, but you also have an option to start anew. You have an option to change some abilities. You have an option, and then you can lose an ability, and now you're like you have to lose something, and then you can gain something. You know what I mean?
Pillage system, but for your soul.
No, pillage system is like you take items and shit when you die. That's different. I don't want to lose items.
It sounds like what you're saying is when you die, you can respec in the death process before you get revived. But it's like, why can't you just do that when you're alive?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying you can respec, but you're saying like based off of just abilities. I'm talking about your entire character, everything about you. You come back reincarnated. So if you say you make a demon spawn character and you die, right? You can use a demon spawn character again, but you can reincarnate to a demigod or something. Or you can reincarnate on the dark side because you died now. You've been to hell or you've been to Avernus or whatever you've been to. You see what I'm saying? And you can come back with a whole new story as a whole new character, different abilities. Like it's other shit that come with being
dying unlocks new training arcs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's doable, but that would just be like very similar to the Dark Brotherhood storyline.
Yeah, you could do shit like that.
You know, or you go to sleep in a bed, you lay in a coffin, you wake back up. Oh shit.
Some shit like that, exactly. Or like Baldur's Gate, right? How you can be a path, like you could take the path of devotion, right? But if you kill somebody that you wasn't supposed to kill, and you broke that pact, right? That oath of ancients. Now you become oath of vengeance. You can be an evil character. So the reincarnation system is simple, like similar to that. Like if you die,
so like a magic restriction on a paladin, if he goes against his code of honor, he would X, Y, Z. Yeah, that's what Sin said. That's covered in what Sin covered though. In having an intricate class system. An intricate class system has
but I'm saying in death. It is, but I'm saying in death something happens as well. Like you don't just die and respawn back in the game.
Wouldn't those each be class specific too? I feel like that'd be pretty dope.
No, I already agree with that. That's fine. That's in the character customization thing. I'm talking about when you die specifically. I don't care about nothing else.
I'm saying we should take your thing, right? Because again, I like it. Take your thing. When you die, you reincarnate. You come back as you can take your points and you can come back as something better. I get it. You do that, and each one is class specific. The mission doesn't unlock unless you've died, and once you die, the mission unlocks. You go do it to become better at X, Y, or fucking Z. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I didn't want it to tie into no missions and shit. More so just the reincarnation system, just specifically that.
Since we're coming up on the end of the podcast, right? There's two things that I want to mention. I do want to give a special thank you to our listeners in Caraco and Belgium. I'm thankful, and it warms my heart to know that there's people literally across the globe that can hear us and that we can reach anyone from anywhere. So I appreciate y'all for listening. Let's move on to the game that we all want to talk about. At least I know 3 of us want to talk about it. Dragon's Dogma 2. All right. This game, in my eyes, is going to be a game of the year. I haven't been wrong about a game of the year in 3 years.
That what y'all said about the first one, though?
Yes, but that was almost a decade ago.
Shit.
They should have got game of the year, but that year was stacked too.
Yeah, a lot of things came out that year. But this game is going to be fantastic. I love the story. I love the graphics. I love the art. I love the fighting system. The fighting system is fantastic.
Combat system? That's what I mean by combat system, like control gameplay, like shit like that,
Right.
like Dragon's Dogma style shit.
So
Yeah, but why haven't I played it yet? Because it's out. I can definitely get it.
That's right. Yeah, because Capcom is
Capcom being sus.
They out here being sus
out here, trying to cancel Christmas on people. It's crazy.
They out here uploading viruses to motherfuckers shit. So yeah, I get that.
Let's start there.
But you could actually upgrade your whatever your skill tree is, whatever your class is. You could upgrade it. You could add extra stuff to it. So you could be an archer. You can go from an archer to like an archer mage, right? And there's an actual specific skill tree for an archer mage, or if you were a greatsword user, you can go from greatsword user to berserker, and there's a whole nother skill tree for berserker other than just using the greatsword. You know what I mean? So the class system and the fighting style, unmatched so far.
I mean, every video I've seen looks riveting. Every video I've seen so far looks fucking dope. I really want to play the game. I really do.
It's gonna be dope, bro. It come out when? March what?
I got the
March 22nd. Yeah,
yeah.
March 22nd.
Yeah, that's a pre-order. That's an automatic buy right there, and that's game of the year in my opinion.
Normally back in the day, old me, I would pre-order this game, but I stopped pre-ordering games because
It's only certain games I'll do that with. God of War is one too. I'll do God of War. I'll pre-order God of War for sure every time. Last of Us, I'm pre-ordering. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have it.
Right? Yeah, because there's talks of The Last of Us Part 3 now.
Oh my god, bro! I'm so hype about that shit, bro. Nah, it's game of the year, bro. I'm calling it now. I don't see anything taking it. Only thing that they might get fucked over by Splatoon 3 or some dumb shit. You know what I mean? It's got to be some dumb shit that happens. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, looking at the list of games that are coming out this year, I don't see anything that's gonna top this. There's a bunch of continuing games. I'm sure Apex is gonna come out with some DLC. What's the other game out? Overwatch. Overwatch. I'm pretty sure they'll do something. Pretty much, the continuing ongoing titles. They'll probably come out something. Destiny has their thing going, but I don't think any of that will be close to the game of the year category. But as far as AAA titles, this looks like the best one so far. And even Elden Ring has their DLC coming out. It's not even gonna be in the category because it's DLC.
Yeah, I don't really see anything this year that's gonna compete with it. Yeah, maybe that Final Fantasy remake part 2. Even then, no.
4 years in a row, I'm gonna be right. I got it.
Yeah, I don't think I've been off. The only year I lost was the Ghost of Tsushima. I had my votes on Ghost of Tsushima, but they lost to God of War that year. Was it Spider-Man? One of them two.
I'm gonna say there could be a sleeper, and it depends really upon when it actually comes out. But
Last of Us, that's what it was.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Bro, I mean, it don't get Hideo Kojima ain't here, right? He's not really participating in it, but that could be a sleeper.
If they released it as a box set for $300, would you get it?
Nah.
It's a box set, so
I wouldn't need to. I wouldn't need to. There's so many other ways to play it now. It's just...
You gotta be remade. If they're all remade out. Oh
yeah, I would like if they remake every title, I'm buying them all. I don't care.
I'll buy all of them for $300. That's cheap.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, I think it's Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. There's two of the old classic Metal Gears. Then you got the Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And he named them all.
Yep, Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, Metal Gear, Survive, fuck Survive. No, nobody really likes
That shit don't
Survive.
count. Do we count the other ones? The spin-offs with
you're talking about the PSP ones like
Peace
Walker and
forgot the name of that
Ground Zeroes doesn't. I mean, that's part of Phantom Pain to me. It's technically a separate game, but it's part of Phantom
Pain. The same shit. We'll count that just as Phantom Pain. Yeah, so it's about 8 or 9 of them joints.
Yeah, because I'm not remembering the ones that came out on the smaller handheld consoles. There was quite a few of them, and I would still play them all. I would, but the ones I'd be mainly interested in are the ones that came out on the larger consoles for sure.
Yeah, 6. I'll be good with those 6 on the console, the major consoles. And if they threw the spin-offs in for $300, oh yeah, bro.
They could put the spin-offs in there for $350. I'll still buy it.
That's a copy, bro.
That was dope. It was clean, man. It was
good.
fresh.
Productive conversation.
It was a structured conglomerate of elevated minds.
I see what you did there.
That was fire. Nice. Yeah, that's a bar. Nice. Say that again. Mm-hmm. A collective conglomerate of elevated.
It was a structured conglomerate of elevated minds.
Shit. Hey, we're gonna make that the motto. Write that down.
Fucking bar.
Just like every week, I want to thank everyone here on the panel for joining me and having this discussion with me. I love you all dearly. Hey, Black, I love you, right?
You know I love you too, man.
All right, man. I love
What's
you.
up?
All right. So whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, if you're watching this on YouTube, or even if you're live in the chat right now, thank you for being here. Thanks for listening to us. We'll see you again next week.